I'm Roxie with Roxie's Broadway Breakdown. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about the Tonys of 2026. Let me break this down, starting off with Pink as the host. I thought she did great. I love Pink. I'm a huge Pink fan. I know she's really not known for Broadway and musicals, but she kicked it off with a huge, rousing opening number to Lady Marmalade and like a huge Moulin Rouge kind of thing. And she had characters from all different kind of musicals, a cameo appearance with Neil Patrick Harris, which I wish he'd come back as a host, but I loved it. She also did a performance later on in the show with the cast of Chicago, and she was fabulous. I mean, I was like, Pink, if you ever want to do Broadway, there is a home for you somewhere. I mean, she has a great voice, and she's just such a natural performer. So yeah, thumbs up to Pink. As far as the Tonys themselves and the awards, this was a lackluster season for Broadway. Let's just say it like it is. In the fall of 2025, there was really like 5 musicals that opened. There were 2 new ones. There was Queen of Versailles by Stephen Schwartz, and he is a hero of mine, okay? But his Queen of Versailles didn't quite just hit the mark, okay, with audience goers. And then there was 2 people that carried a cake across New York, which is still going. It got a nomination. And then there was 2 revivals, Chess, starring Aaron Tveit and Leah Michele, and then Ragtime, which has already won a Tony for Best Musical, but it got a nomination. And then we move on to the spring, and you get Beaches, which got panned based on the movie, you know, with Bette Midler. And then you got highly anticipated Lost Boys, based on the 1980s movie with Kiefer Sutherland, all about, you know, teen vampires. Huge buzz, got great reviews. I think like 12 Tony nominations, something like that. Schmigadoon, based on the Apple TV series, another great show, got great reviews. I think it rivaled Lost Boys. And Titanic, very odd show. It's about as if Celine Dion were aboard the Titanic and she tells a story from her point of view. Very odd. And then you had 2 other revivals. Cats Jellicle Ball, which was a totally reimagined telling of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. Totally fun, high octane, energetic. Can't say enough about it. I loved the performance on the Tonys from Cats Jellicle Ball. And then Rocky Horror Picture Show starring Luke Evans. So there you go. Those were the nominations. It was for new ones, just to regroup. You had Lost Boys, Schmigadoon, 2 People Carrying a Cake Across New York, and Titanic. And then revivals were Ragtime, Cats, and Rocky Horror. All right. There you go. What won? Ragtime for revival, and Schmigadoon for new musical. There were your winners. So it wasn't like a lot of anticipation, or, you know, I mean, I kind of expected Ragtime to win, not because I thought, oh, it's the best show. I was hoping for Cats, just because I thought it was more fun and more energetic. But I think as the night wore on, you could kind of see that the Tonys were making a point to say, in these complicated political times, New York and the Broadway community are very much still taking a stand and speaking out, and our conscience is in the right place, and we very much want to speak out against certain things. And we are still relevant, and we want to take, you know, a stance. And so, and against, you know, political things, moral things, things we, you know, believe in, blah, 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 blah. And so, because I think the immigration thing, I mean, that's what Ragtime is about, immigrants and whites versus blacks, and just the whole melting pot of the situation, fighting amongst diversity in the country. I think they felt this is still a very relevant topic, especially in this day and age. And so I think they were like, this is a very necessary show, a very timely show. And I feel they awarded it to Ragtime for some of those reasons. The crowd seemed very up and pumped for Cats. But, you know, sometimes these award shows play out like that. Like, let's award for what is maybe being said at the right time in the right way. I'm just saying. Schmigadoon, I think, won for, because it's an homage to Broadway, to what musicals are, or what they should be, especially in the golden era of musicals in the 50s. And, you know, it was just fun and light and dancing and singing and, you know, beautiful costumes and just when everything was just merry and light and at a different time. And the dancers were stunning. It was some of the best dancing I've seen on Broadway in so long. And the choreography was just perfection. And I have to congratulate Christopher Gattelli. He directed and choreographed it. And it was just... yeah, it was just breathtaking. And I was like, that's what a musical should look like. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't mind that Schmigadoon won. I don't know that it transferred as well to stage, only because, as a side note, the two main characters, Melissa and, I don't remember the guy's name, but anyway, Cecily Strong of Saturday Night Live and Keegan-Michael Key were the two primary characters in the TV series, which I loved. Alex Brightman and, now I can't remember the girl's name. Anyway, I don't know that they have like the right comedic timing in their toolbox to like really pull that off. Maybe I'd have to see the show all in context. I'm just saying what I saw that night on the Tonys. It just, like, their personalities didn't match Cecily's and Keegan-Michael Key's, like, I don't know, something just didn't ring right for me for their comedic timing and their shtick and what they were doing. But like I say, that's maybe not fair because I haven't seen the show. That's just what I kind of saw. But anyway, the show in and of itself looked fun and whatever. But the TV show had such great people in it, like Kristen Chenoweth and Alan Cummings and... I don't know. It's just a great cast. If you haven't seen the show, go watch it on Apple TV. Anyway, it was, you know, what I've been saying. It was such a lackluster year because it's almost like if you opened this year, you're going to get a nomination. I mean, with the exception of Chess and Beaches, you know, you got a nod, you got a nomination. And it's because musicals are just so expensive. They're just not staying open. And, you know, it's like audiences just are wondering, you know, do I want to spend the money to go see these expensive shows that just aren't that great? You know, I mean, in a couple of years past, there was like 20 plus musicals that opened and there was a lot to choose from. I mean, even last year, there was such highly anticipated, ooh, who's going to win Best Actress? Is it going to be Nicole Scherzinger for Norma Desmond or Audra McDonald for Mama Rose and Gypsy? And it was just like, ooh, these are just such great performances, and you know, it could go either way. And this year it just wasn't that kind of excitement. There really wasn't anything to get excited about in those categories. So it's just kind of a Tony season. Maybe next year. We'll see what opens this coming year. I'm already kind of putting my ear to the ground, seeing what's coming, seeing what's out there, and I'll let you know as soon as I do. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you thought about the Tonys. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. All right, till later. Bye.